Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another Art with Miss Taub. This week, we are talking about pumpkins. I actually want you guys to practice drawing your pumpkins so that next week you are ready for our pumpkin patch landscape. But this week, we are just practicing our pumpkins. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the element of art form. Here you will see two pictures of pumpkins. One of them is drawn just using shapes, a circle and a rectangle. The other one shows the form of a pumpkin. What do you think is the difference between these two pumpkins? If you said that the one that says shape is very flat and this one looks like it's 3D or more realistic, you would be right. That is because shapes are often very flat, but their 3D cousins are called forms. For example, a triangle would be a shape. But if you had a cone, which looks something like this, and it is 3D or popping out, that is a form, right? So a shape is flat and a form is a 3D version of that shape. So here's a pumpkin using shapes, and here's a pumpkin using a form. This shape, if I were to draw the lines of a pumpkin on a shape, my shape lines would be very straight. Does that look realistic? The lines on the pumpkin would be more curved, right? So the lines for the pumpkin on the form, the realistic one, are curved lines. Take a look at these straight lines on top of this real pumpkin picture. It doesn't really look right? It's like kind of off and kind of funky. Straight lines make things look flat. But if I were to move over this pumpkin onto here, curved lines make things look more round or realistic. So we're going to be using curved lines to create our pumpkins. Here is an artist who loves pumpkins and uses them in her artwork all the time. Yayoi Kusama, you may remember her from when I talked about our self-portraits, and I also talked about her a little bit when we did our dot project. Yayoi is a Japanese artist, and she's mostly known for her sculptures. She creates a lot of 3D forms for her artwork. Behind her, you will see one of her pumpkins. Take a look at this amazing room of pumpkins. So, she took her pumpkin sculptures and not only did she add a light inside of them to make them glow, but she put them into an infinity room. An infinity room means that she has, I would say, probably about 20 pumpkins in this room. But she put these awesome mirrors behind her and on the ceiling to make it look like these pumpkins go on forever and ever and ever. How cool is that? I would love to go inside one of her infinity rooms. I just feel like it would be such a cool experience. You can see that Yayoi Kusama does love to put dots on her pumpkins, like all of her artwork. In this pumpkin sculpture, the big dots are at the tippy top or the closest part of the pumpkin, right? So if you were to touch this pumpkin, this is the part you would reach first. As she goes into the crevice or where the pumpkin would usually be darker, her dots get smaller. She did that on purpose to show form in her sculptures. You do not have to use Yayoi Kusama as inspiration for coloring your pumpkin, but I thought that I was going to use her because she loves pumpkins almost as much as me, and I think it will just be fun to add different sized dots. I look forward to seeing your awesome pumpkin drawings, even if they're not inspired by Yayoi Kusama. See you soon!
I wanted to take a look at a real picture of a pumpkin to show you how the curved lines go in a certain direction in order to create your form pumpkins instead of flat pumpkins. You're going to start with a smile in the center, and then you're going to draw a letter C, a really big letter C, and a backwards letter C for the outermost part of your pumpkin. You wouldn't do it in the other direction because it wouldn't look right. So you do your C and your backwards letter C. Then you're going to see that the line down the middle is actually straight. No way. And as you go towards the edge of your pumpkin, your line will curve in the same direction as the edge of your pumpkin. So you can start in the center or off to the side a little bit. That's up to you. You're the artist. I'm going to start at the side. I'm going to curve my line around, almost copying the edge of my pumpkin. I could keep going, but I'm actually going to stop right after 4 lines. And then on the other side, it goes in the other direction. In order for this pumpkin to look realistic, your curves should be pretty equally spaced apart and they should copy the outermost line. Let's talk about the stem a little bit. The stem is an organic shape, so it's not a perfect rectangle. This one is shaped more like a triangle that then has lines to show texture. Now let's get started on our artwork. With these practice pumpkins, I want you to try drawing pumpkins of different sizes. That will come in handy later. I want you to find the center of your paper and draw a slight smile line. It's not a very deep U. Then you want to draw your letter C and your backwards letter C to create the shape of your pumpkin. Next, draw the straight line down the middle. And again, you're going to mimic the outside or copy the outside curved line to create the dips in your pumpkin. Once you have that pumpkin shape, you can add your stem however you like. By adding an oval at the top like this, it shows that this is a form. Now that I have my big pumpkin, I'm going to try and draw a similar one, but this time he's going to be much longer and taller of a pumpkin. You could start with a hot dog shape right in the middle before you draw that center line, and then create your letter C and backwards letter C's. Again, you're the artist. You're going to find what works best for you. Some stems on pumpkins have a little curve to them, like this one. Now I'm going to draw a teeny tiny pumpkin starting with that hot dog shape, but I don't want to do a million of these curved lines because it's going to stop looking like a real pumpkin after about 5. Again, I like to practice both ways to draw the pumpkin because I'm trying to find what is my favorite way and what looks most realistic to me. You're the artist, so as long as you feel confident in how you are drawing your pumpkins, then I will say you did a good job. Don't forget your stems because they are organic shapes that show that pumpkins actually grow on a vine. Time for my favorite part. Super speedy fast mode. You will notice that my Kusama dots are in a pattern. I have little ones and then big ones and then little ones and then big ones. But remember, you're the artist, so you can decide how you want to decorate your pumpkins however you like. Maybe you want to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns or scarecrows. It is up to you. As long as your practice pumpkins are many different sizes, then I will say you did a great job on this assignment. Feel free to add color however you like, but I am using markers so that it goes nice and quick and that I can fill up my pumpkins with color. I kind of messed up on this one when I started with orange because I did want to do it based on Yayoi Kusama, who has a yellow pumpkin. So I just fixed it by creating a pattern with my color. Then I added a loop-de-loopy vine to show that my pumpkins all grow together. I realized I wasn't done. I did want to show some overlapped pumpkins to show that some are closer and others are far away. This will come in handy later. I can't wait to see your artwork. Have fun!